Free trials feel simple. You click a button, you enter your email, sometimes you enter your card, and suddenly, you have access to a product that usually costs money. It feels like the company is giving you something for free. But in reality, free trials are not gifts. They are carefully designed business systems. They reduce resistance. They create habits. They collect data. They increase trust. And they turn a free user into a paying customer. This is why some of the most profitable software companies in the world use free trials, free plans, and freemium models. The product may start at $0, but the business model does not. The biggest mistake people make is thinking that free trials are just a marketing tactic. They are not. A free trial is not only about letting someone test a product. It is about changing the way the customer thinks. Before the trial, the customer is asking, "Should I pay for this?" But during the trial, the question changes. Now they ask, "Do I want to lose access to this?" That shift is powerful. The company is no longer trying to convince you from the outside. The product is now inside your routine, inside your workflow, inside your habits. And once that happens, canceling feels like losing something. Every purchase has friction. The customer has doubts. Is this worth the price? Will I actually use it? Can I trust this company? Is there a better option? What if I regret paying? A free trial removes most of that resistance. Instead of asking the customer to make a full buying decision, the company asks for a smaller commitment. Try it first. No big decision. No long comparison. No heavy risk. That is why free trials can be so effective. They lower the barrier to entry. And in business, the easier the first step is, the more people take it. There are two common types of free trials. One asks for a credit card up front. The other does not. Both models can work, but they create very different behavior. When a company asks for a card up front, fewer people may start the trial. But the users who do start are usually more serious. They already made a small commitment. And if they do not cancel before the trial ends, they become paying customers automatically. When a company does not ask for a card up front, more people may sign up. But converting them into paying customers later can be harder. That is the trade-off. More signups does not always mean more revenue. The real question is not how many people start the trial. The real question is how many people become valuable customers. The most powerful free trials do not just show features. They create usage. Because the goal is not only to make the user understand the product. The goal is to make the user depend on it. Think about a design tool, a project management app, a file storage service, a video editing platform, or an AI writing tool. The company wants you to create something inside the product. A design, a project, a document, a folder, a workflow. Once you create something, the product becomes more personal. Now you are not just testing software. You are building assets inside it. And the more you build, the harder it becomes to leave. Most successful free trial systems are designed around one key moment, the aha moment. This is the moment when the user understands the value of the product, not intellectually, practically. For example, the user creates their first design, exports their first file, saves their first project, automates their first task, invites their first teammate, or sees their first result. Before that moment, the product is just another tool. After that moment, the user understands why it matters. That is why onboarding is so important. The best companies do not simply give access. They guide the user toward the moment where the product becomes useful. Free trials also give companies something extremely valuable: data. They can see where users click, which features they try, where they get stuck, which users return, which users disappear, and which behaviors usually lead to payment. This allows the company to improve the product and the sales process. If users who invite a teammate are more likely to pay, the company will encourage team invitations. If users who create 3 projects are more likely to convert, the company will guide new users toward creating more projects. If users get stuck at setup, the company will improve onboarding. So the free trial is not just a sales tool. It is a learning machine. Every user teaches the company how to sell better. A strong free trial usually has a conversion machine behind it. Email reminders, in-app messages, usage limits, upgrade prompts, countdowns, feature locks, case studies, support messages, and sometimes special offers. None of these elements work alone, but together, they create a path. The user starts free, then they experience value, then they hit a limit, then they understand what they would gain by upgrading. This is important. The best upgrade prompts do not feel random. They appear when the user already understands the value. That is why timing matters. A paywall is much stronger after the user has experienced the benefit. Free trials and freemium models are similar, but they are not the same. A free trial gives access for a limited time. Freemium gives limited access for free, often forever. With a free trial, the pressure comes from time. You have 7 days, 14 days, 30 days. With freemium, the pressure comes from limits. Limited storage, limited exports, limited projects, limited features, limited seats. Both models use the same basic idea. Let the user experience value before asking for payment. But the path to payment is different. Free trials create urgency. Freemium creates long-term adoption. A smart company chooses the model that fits the product. Free trials work because they feel fair. The customer does not feel forced to buy immediately. They feel in control. They can test the product, compare it, use it, and decide later. This builds trust. But there is also a psychological effect. Once someone starts using a product, they begin to imagine it as part of their life or business. They become familiar with the interface. They save work inside it. They spend time learning it. They may even invite other people. Now, leaving the product has a cost. Not always a financial cost. Sometimes it is a time cost, an effort cost, a habit cost, a switching cost. That is where the business model becomes powerful. Many beginners misunderstand free offers. They think free means the company is losing money. But in many business models, free is the first step of the funnel. The company may lose money on some users, but it can still win if enough users convert, stay subscribed, or upgrade over time. This is why lifetime value matters. If a customer pays every month for a long period, the company can afford to spend more to acquire that customer. The free trial is not judged only by the first payment. It is judged by what happens after. Does the user convert? Do they stay? Do they upgrade? Do they invite others? Do they become part of a team account? Free is not the business. Free is the entry point. So the next time you see a free trial, do not look at it as a simple discount. Look at the system behind it. The company is reducing friction, guiding you to value, creating habits, collecting data, building trust, and making the paid version feel like the natural next step. That is why free trials make so much money. Not because free is the product, but because free removes the barrier to the product. The hidden business model is simple. Start with access, create value, build dependence, then convert attention into recurring revenue. Subscribe to Hidden Business Models for more breakdowns of the strategies behind modern companies, apps, creators, and internet trends.